Craig from the Young Hearts from Kent, England. How's it going, Craig?
Hey, I'm all good, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Anytime. Really appreciate you coming on. Let's dive right into it. So, when and how did you guys form?
We kind of, well, me and Stu were in a band called Promise Me Tomorrow years and years ago with Aaron, who was the original guitarist of the Young Hearts, and our drummer left, and we were kind of just still young enough to not want to give it up straight away. So we kind of took our time and thought we'd sort of give something else a go, something a bit more for ourselves rather than trying to fit into like a specific genre. We just wanted to keep writing music and see what happened. So that was kind of how the Young Hearts formed.
That's awesome, man. Just short, simple, and right to the point.
Yeah.
So, you guys released Somewhere Through the Night in December. How's the response been to it?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, man. Like we're by no means like a big band, but like the reach it's had has been more than we ever expected. Like we spent so much time and effort, like just making it something that we were incredibly proud of ourselves. So it's always nice to get a bit of recognition for it. It's not something we expected, but especially this time of year when we've had loads of sort of tags from people that we've sort of never spoken to in our lives before, adding it to their albums of the year alongside the Menzingers and the Bouncing Souls and Gaslight Anthem and stuff, just to see like our album image with all those is kind of mind blowing, really. So I think yes, it's doing better than we expected, especially when 2 years ago we were pretty much not going to be a band anymore.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I just want to say that it was one of my favorite albums this year.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm not just saying that. I mean it. Like from front to back, it's super duper catchy. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, legend. Cheers, man.
Of course.
Love
So, who do you guys record with it, and how was the process?
Well, it was a long process. Like, I think when was it? We released our first album, The Modern State, in January 2021. And that was kind of mid-pandemic at that point. So everything was kind of up in the air and no one really knew what was going on. And then about 6 months after we released that album, Aaron and AJ, our drummer and previous guitarist, sort of called it a day. And so me and Stu actually kind of decided, with half the band leaving, two really good friends of ours, that we thought it was probably a good idea to call the band done and sort of go our separate ways. And I think obviously during the pandemic, like no one could really do anything, so I built myself a little home studio set up, and I started demoing songs before I knew the band was over. I'd already started demoing a load of new songs, thinking, oh, there's nothing else to do, I might as well just keep writing. So when the band called it a day, I had like 4, 5, 6 songs maybe ready to go. So just like sitting for a couple of weeks thinking, oh right, the Young Hearts is done, like I don't need those songs anymore. It only took me a couple of weeks. I was like, no, I can't just sit and just not do anything anymore. Music is such a massive part of my life that I just kind of be lost without. I don't know who I am without doing this. It's been so long. So we kind of recruited a couple of our friends, Connor and Joe. The first thing we did, like before we started thinking about playing shows or anything, it was like, let's get some new music recorded and just see what happens. Like we were kind of sort of, we didn't know what was going to happen, whether we were going to sort of take things really seriously or just do it for a bit of fun. But like we wanted to see how these songs came out. So we just we sort of started rehearsing. I kept writing songs and demoing and showing ideas to the others. And within sort of 6 months of like reforming, we were in the studio demoing properly recording the first batch of songs. And we spent a year and a half just in and out of the studio. We'd be writing at home, rewriting at home, just taking our time and making sure these songs were like the best they possibly could be. And I think like we're all super happy with the results, and I think like taking that time has really been a benefit to us.
That's awesome. No, right on. So you're from Kent, England. How's the alternative scene there? How's the pop punk scene? Do you have a favorite local band, a favorite venue?
Yeah, I mean the scene, like it's very up and down over the years. Like back when I was sort of 14, 15 and first going to shows, like the scene was absolutely buzzing. Like there were so many bands, like loads of venues. You could get a show at the drop of the hat and just meet loads of sort of like-minded people. And I think as we all started to grow up, the next generation didn't really take to it the way that we did. So there wasn't as many local bands, and all the bands that there were, they were getting married, having kids, and giving up. So I think the scene did die a lot. But it's starting to come back over the last few years. There's some great new venues and there's some fucking brilliant bands. Like our favourite venue is probably the Lighthouse, which is in Deal, our hometown, which we did our comeback show a year and a half ago, and then we did our album release show a couple of weeks back. And it's just like the sound there is incredible. Like it's always a good turnout. All the staff there are brilliant. It's just such a absolutely banging venue. And I think, yeah, there's some really great bands around. I think one of our favourites is probably a band called Tail Block. I don't know if you've heard them.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah,
What kind of music?
It's like kind of emo-y, like old sort of punk stuff. Like a little bit, there's elements of like Hot Water Music and the Get Up Kids and stuff like that, but just a bit gritty and just really, really great bands and really nice guys as well.
That sounds pretty sick. I'll definitely have to check it out. So who would you say your biggest influences are?
For me, I think Springsteen is always someone I'll go back to because I'm pretty sure my parents said I was born to Springsteen playing. So it's kind of like he was there from the start for me. So I've always been listening to Springsteen, everything he puts out. His live shows, like there is not a better live act to go and see than Bruce Springsteen in the E Street Band. I'll put my house on that. But I think saying that as you grow up, Gaslight have obviously been a massive influence on me. I love the way Brian Fallon writes songs. Like his lyrics is always so brilliant. Bands like the Menzingers, again, like just a great punk rock band, full of melody, full of heart. Like you can't beat their songs. Love the Killers. Killers are a fantastic band, another great live band to go and see, consistently putting out great records. So yeah, just a bit of everything really, but those are probably the main ones.
Oh, that's sick, man. I'm really glad that you said Springsteen, just because I'm from Jersey and he's from my home state. So, I'm a little bit biased towards him, and I think he's really good live, and I like a lot of his music.
Yeah, man, he's an absolute hero.
So if you could tour with one of them or play a show with one of them, who would it be?
Oh, God. I think, well, I said it, I'd play a show with any of them. I would love to like be on the same bill as the Killers. We went to see them, I say 2022 now. I was about to say last year, but now we're 2024. We went to see them a couple of years ago, the Emirates Stadium in London. And it was just like it's a spectacle. Like they've got such a good back catalogue of songs, but everything else that was added to the live show, I'd love to be able just to like play my set and then stand side stage and see like Brandon Flowers and the Killers, all the pyrotechnics and the confetti cannons and just like it would just be brilliant. I love that band.
That would be incredible. I would say he's probably one of the best frontmen out there.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
He brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah, just looks like he's enjoying himself. And they play so many shows, like you'd think like he'd get burnt out, but he's always just giving it 100%. And I completely admire him for that.
Right on, man. That's awesome. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you. I did this with the other bands. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
All right, first one. Favorite TV show?
Oh, God damn.
Putting you on the spot.
I mean, I have to say, I'll put me on the spot now. I'm trying to think. What have I watched recently? I'm not really a big fan of like the big shows. Like I was never into Game of Thrones or anything like that. What TV show do I love? Like, I really liked The Walking Dead to start with. I was really into that before it kind of went downhill a bit. The first few seasons of that I absolutely loved. Well, so I watched From, that TV series from the makers of Lost. I don't know if you've seen that.
Never heard of it.
It's really good. It's quite interesting. There's only been a couple of seasons so far, but
What's it about?
huh?
What's it about?
So it's about there's like a village like in the middle of nowhere that if you enter, you can't leave. So like these people sort of turn up in this village, and like all these people are like, yeah, you can't go anywhere. And then at night time, like you have to like be inside with these little talismans outside your house, because these creatures that take the form of like humans, but they're creepy as fuck, like will just like rip you to shreds. It's really brutal, but like a cool concept. It's a bit like Lost, like where you don't really understand what's going on yet. It's all like feeding you bits of information at a time that keeps you sort of like going.
That sounds pretty sick. I'm gonna have to check it out as well.
Yeah, it is good. If you like Lost, and like then I think you might enjoy it. Like it's a bit of a thinker, but it's good.
Interesting. If you could be fluent in another language instantly, what language?
I say Spanish, maybe. I'd like to go to like some of the places that they speak Spanish. I think there's a lot of cool places around the world. It'd be quite cool to be able to speak Spanish or German, one of the two. I'll go for them.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from as far as Spanish, just because it's one of the most useful languages in the world, and there's a boatload of countries where they speak it. So
yeah,
I feel like it would make the most sense to maybe go with that. You just hop right in and blend right in and
definitely
be like everybody else.
Yeah.
So if you go back in time and talk to one world leader or person of influence, who would it be?
Man, these questions are hard. One world leader or person of influence. Now I have to think about what I say to make myself seem really like with it.
It could be a dead musician. I will give you that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really clued up on all my politics and stuff, so I kind of stick to what I know. So music is probably the most important thing. I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with Kurt Cobain. Nirvana was such a big influence for me growing up, so just sort of delving into his mind a bit would be interesting, I reckon.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
And you never know, he might have some good stuff to say on world politics and stuff like that. So
yeah, he seemed pretty wise.
Yeah.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
I'd probably be an animal sort of charity. I'm a big dog person, and I'd love to. I always said if I became really rich, I'd buy a farm somewhere and just take in as many rescue dogs as I can. So I think donating to like the RSPCA or Dogs Trust or something like that, that would probably be important to me.
That's cool. Do you have any dogs?
Yeah, I do have one dog. I would have more, but I do have one. He was a rescue. We've had him for about 5 years now.
Oh, that's cool. What kind of dog is it?
He's a Beagle Cross.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a lot of hard work, but he's good fun. Currently asleep on the sofa.
Yeah, no, I like dogs. I just have had some bad experiences with them. I've gotten they bit me a couple times, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for me being me being my normal self. So I'm like, yeah, it's probably best that I don't own a dog. I mean, they're cool to look at, and I'll pet my friends' dogs, but
Yeah.
That's about it.
No worries. I understand that.
All right, last question. What are some places in Kent that visitors should check out?
Well, definitely Deal, hometown. It's definitely worth checking out. Like, especially in the summertime, like we have a lot going on in the summer. A lot of live music sort of playing out on the sort of seafront. Like the fair comes to town, and just a lot of cool stuff happens. There's loads of sort of little villages around Kent are really great to see. Places like Bethersden, just outside of Ashford. Brayborn, Wye, just like really nice little country villages, nice country pubs, a lot of sort of friendly people about. Yeah, I'd say without, if I wasn't saying our hometown, I'd say just little villages like that. But yeah, definitely people should check out Deal.
Well, the next time I get back over there, you'll have to show me around.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, I was over there in 2013 and 14, and I'm not sure if Stu remembers this, but I toured with Melrose back in the day.
Yes, and I do remember.
It was them in Boston Manor before they exploded, and Landmarks, rest in peace. And where were we? We were in Broadstairs, which was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah,
And
Broadstairs is really nice.
isn't that 20 minutes from you or something like that?
Yeah, it's literally about half hour from us.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, I was really impressed with that. I was right on the water, and then Canterbury was incredible.
Yeah, Canterbury. I was going to say Canterbury, but I thought that's like something someone everyone already know about Canterbury, but might not know that Deal.
Well, my friends over here, they don't know about it, so it'd be perfect for them.
Oh, really? Yeah, Canterbury is cool. Good place.
Sheffield and Norwich. Yeah, no, I loved it. I didn't want to leave, and it was funny because like the weather was like absolutely incredible. Like when I was there, and then after I left, they said that it went back to like typical like English weather. I was like, well, what can I say? I brought the good weather with me.
Yeah, you were very lucky. Give you that.
But knowing me, like knowing my life, the next time I go back, it'll be like just garbage, like every single day. So gotta be prepared.
I don't know. Just pick the right time. If you come over sort of June, July, the weather's normally pretty good for most of it. So just choose your timing. Don't come in January or February, basically.
Yeah. The last thing I want is freezing my butt off over there, because then it takes away from the experience and just be miserable and all that.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, and the support means a lot to me.
No, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. It's been nice to chat.
So for the people that are going to watch this later, where can they find your music at?
So you can find us on all the sort of normal digital streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon. Check us out on YouTube and give our socials a follow. Like Instagram is probably the best one. It's at the Young Hearts Official. You can keep up to date and check out everything we're doing on there.
Do what the man says. Check out the new album. It's absolutely incredible. And hit that like button and spread the word. Well, I hope you have a great day and a happy new year, and we'll be in touch.
And to you, man. Thanks very much for having us.
Really appreciate it, brother. Have a good one.
You take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.